Sarah Kimaro Mushai, Dean School of Social Sciences, MKU, and Coordinator Persons with Disability. Thank you so much for joining me once again, and karibuni sana kwa show. Dr. Jane, I'll begin with you. What is social media addiction, and how do you know you're addicted?
Yeah, social media addiction is that compulsive use where you feel you are really hooked to using gadgets, might be your phone, television, or technology. Like you cannot do without. When you don't have them, you feel like you are sick, like you're not complete, like something is really wrong with you. And it's become very common in our society today. You find we carry our phones, even 3 of them, 4 of them. We have a computer bag or wherever we go. And sometimes some people become really used. They cannot really stay without TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. And even in class or in meetings, people are still like, trying to see what is happening on the side of the social media. But sometimes some people really get too used, too compulsive. That's now when you talk about addiction.
As someone who checks on her phone the first thing in the morning, I totally understand. So Dr. Rahab, is this serious? Can it affect your mental health?
When we talk about addiction, actually addiction is addiction. And it affects the mental health. And even so, the social media, it affects the mental health. Because one of the things that you will notice is that when people get so addicted to to social media, so that sometimes you postpone very important things to check on your phone, you postpone meetings, sometimes people even forego food. And when it gets to that level, you will find that there are things that people want to watch. And one of the things you want to ask yourself is what is being watched. Sometimes you're watching things like maybe that look so glamorous, which will make your self-esteem go low. Like you start feeling now, how can I afford this? How can I be where these people are? In other words, you get to levels that will make your self-esteem go down. Sometimes it drives you to anxiety. And worse enough, it can get one to depression, because you are so dissatisfied with yourself. And sometimes you look down upon yourself because of what you are used to watching all the time. Yeah, so it can actually be an issue of mental health.
Following on that, Dr. Sarah, how real is social media addiction in our society today?
The social media addiction is really real. Because as my colleagues have said, it's like an controlled urge to see. You want to see what has been posted. You want to follow up an individual who is doing a certain maybe issue and all that. And this is real, because not once or twice have I heard of even families, couples who have broken up, who have parted ways just because of social media, that the person is so much involved with the social issue, such that social media rather, such that they cannot give attention to the spouses. They are not ready to give them attention. They are not ready to attend them. So it is there. Even children are actually having a difficult time, even with their parents, just because of social media. You find even in job places, people are losing their jobs simply because somebody cannot control their urge to be on the phone. Somebody is on the phone and is still trying to attend their duties or responsibility. So what do you expect? Definitely one will fail. Yes.
Okay. Tell me about impact, Dr. Jane.
Yeah, like Dr. have said, look at a mother with a baby and they're on phone. And there is no eye contact between the two. This baby, we feel like there is no attachment. So the impact is huge. And sometimes if the child grows feeling not really wanted, or like my mother, why is my mother not looking at me? They are breastfeeding, they are feeding, but the mother is just on the phone. And we know the role of eye contact between mother and child. it can affect the attachment issues, cause attachment issues to the child. Today, also we have the Superman effect. Children on the video games, and they are told, jump, Superman will catch you. You know, like if the child is somewhere on a veranda, and they are with the phone, and the phone is just, the person is telling them to jump, they cannot really have a discretion. You find that child are falling down, others are committing suicide because of social media addiction. So it's a huge thing today, and the impact is being felt. People fight over remote in the house, like, this is my game, the children want this, the young people, if the siblings are fighting. So sometimes social media impact is real in our families.
Yeah, we are talking about destroyed relationships. Like Dr. is saying, in the family, we are talking about issues of deceit. People are being lied to, even in social media, about making money. You know, there are so many apps there that are driving people to think that they can get rich by just engaging into some of those, money-making, deceptive apps. And that is another problem that we have, and it is impacting very negatively on society.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because we've sort of established that it could be a mental health issue, which psychological factors are associated with social media addiction?
You see, like being compulsive, because psychologically it's about your mind, your thinking, your behavior. It's translated by your thoughts and your feelings. So you realize that compulsive behavior will arise, and that is now where the addiction starts. And then we have the feeling. You hear someone says, I'm very bored. So for me to deal with boredom, it's my phone, or a program on television, series of movies, and this is psychological. And sometimes it's even your thoughts also, where you want to get excited, and then your mind is like, it's fixated there, that it's only by doing this that that I will find happiness, or I will feel complete. And it can psychologically affect you, lose self-esteem, that will make you feel like, if I do the media, then I'll feel better. It's like a medicine to my esteem and my confidence, which is a lie. It is actually like sometimes...
Is it something you're telling yourself that is not true?
Yes, the mind is just lying to you. Yeah, like you get false confidence, because confidence and self-esteem are deep issues. You have to cultivate them from other better things and activities. Mm-hmm.
Do you agree?
Because there is the emotional person is seriously affected, just like the cognitive man is also affected by issues of social media addiction and any other addiction. It is like you are living in a world, outside the reality. It is like you are living outside yourself. And when you come back to yourself, you are so empty. Because you discover that really that is not who you are. You are living a life that was not your own. And so that again comes back to you with such an impact that it makes you now begin to look at yourself negatively, and sometimes it can be such a real problem. Psychologically, people have gotten into depression because of that kind of exposure.
Okay. Is this something as a society we're sort of ignoring, we're trying to not recognize it? Do you think? Dr. Sarah?
We may not say that it has been ignored. Yeah? It's only that it's like, do we have a solution to it? We have known that people are getting quick fixes through social media, they are also trying not to be themselves. They are running away from reality. But the question is, do we have a solution to it? People are no longer doing planning of their day, because it's like they're getting engaged into the social media until all what they had planned is no longer working for them. So with that, you find there's a real confusion. It's a real confusion. And the other problem is, have we known how to filter what goes into the social media? You wake up in the morning, you feel your mood is not good, and you put yourself in the social media on how you're feeling. Even before you provide a solution to yourself, you want to hear what are other people commenting about your feeling.
First.
Yes, so it's unfair. We are unfair to ourselves, because we are not able to reassess ourselves and be able to filter what we should consume even before we give to others. We hear what other people are telling us other than knowing what we can do to ourselves. So that's a problem. And as I'm saying, it's a problem that really needs to be looked into, and people need to brainstorm more and more so that we see what exactly do we do, especially even to the upcoming generation.
Perfect family is not always.
Wanasema wasemao kuwa elimu ni bahari haiishi kwa kuchotwa. Wakati mwingi natangamana na wanafunzi madarasani, sio kama mwalimu bali kama nahodha kwenye kipindi cha tasnia ya elimu. Na iwapo utanikosa madarasani, basi utanipata nyanjani nikisaka habari zenye usawa, ufasaha na ukweli. Na iwapo utanikosa nyanjani, bila shaka utanipata studioni, hapa nikisoma habari na kuendesha mijadala mikomavu. Mimi ni Andrin Kilemi, mpenzi wa lugha ya Kiswahili na elimu kwa jumla.
They say money makes the world go round. So let's slow things down a bit. Put things in perspective. From the markets to the streets to the stocks, we make the complex comprehensible. Join me, Hibak Said, on TV47 Business News for market insights like never before.
Program he wants to watch, the sister wants this one. Jack will start forgetting maybe roles, what he's supposed to do, and procrastinating things, and sometimes moody and anxious because maybe there is no internet in the house, the data bundles, he needs money. They feel like now their world has come to a standstill, and there is no peace. And this addiction will make the family start wondering what has happened to our son or to our nephew, etc.
Dr. Rahab, in terms of now the people surrounding Jack, maybe his employers, fellow employees, family, siblings, relationship, what kind of direct impact will this have to now the people surrounding Jack?
Of course, the people surrounding Jack will realize that he has put like a gap between them, so the relationship will deteriorate. There will be no, that close relationship. You also find that people will stop understanding him, And this will make him now feel like he has been segregated, like people no longer love him. He will start to withdraw, just like other people will withdraw unless now somebody begins to understand that Jack has a problem and come in to help. Actually, just like any other addiction, Jack would need social support. So instead of people getting away from him, they need to help him. They need to come in and maybe give him some education. He needs some psychoeducation on what is really happening to him. Because sometimes you find that Jack may not know that he has a problem. He only finds that when he wakes up, the first thing that he does is get to his gadget, get online, and start, scrolling and doing things. And other people are finding that Jack is not available. He's not available to friends. He's not available to workmates. He's not available in the family. And unless now somebody raises, their voice and says something is not working, this may destroy Jack completely. So the people around him need to recognize that really Jack is having a problem and he needs help. And they need to bring it to him that he needs assistance in what is happening.
Okay. What is making the situation worse?
I am seeing Jack, a person, a young man. I'm just thinking he's a young man, and he has a lot of energies. But I am questioning, is Jack involved with outdoor activities or indoor activities? Who accompanies Jack? Who are his companions? Are they people that they are in the same house, or are they people who are outside the house? How available are his siblings or his parents or his guardian? Because all this may be brought about by, is Jack engaging, having interaction with other people? Is Jack only involved in passive activities where he's not really rigorously involved? What is this that he entertains him? Because we need to see that Jack gets into other outside activities. He should be active even in the church. He should be active. He should be playing games in school. He should be having social activities with his neighbors. So with that, it's likely to help him manage his time and be able to break from the monotony of being an indoor person and being only with his phone as if it's the one that gives him company, and see to it that he can also be attracted to other things. He needs to also create some niche of a kind. Am I interested in wildlife? Am I interested in farming? What is this that can get me out of the house? Because from that, he needs to identify, he needs to have self-awareness such that he can now break the monotony of only being alone and being only with the phone or with the TV, and see what else can he do outside that which has been doing for now, so that he's not just staying and giving the phone or any other gadget more time. Yes.
So this question is for you, Dr. Jane and Dr. Rahab. At some point, the government had talked about banning TikTok in Kenya, and it brought uproar among social media influencers and all that. And my question is this the solution to social media addiction, banning social media completely?
Personally, I would say that what I normally see is that there is a generation that is making a livelihood out of social media. They are making money. They are actually, it has become an employer. So when we say that we want to ban, that means that we are cutting off quite a few jobs, because they have already known that this is the way to make money. That's how they live. So personally, I would say that what would be required is for people to be educated, because whatever job anyone is doing, which is a livelihood for them, it is required that you organize your time. And so it would be also for, even for social media, for that TikTok and whatever else that they are using to make money, you organize your time so that there is time to work and there is time to do other things. So when we say that we ban TikTok or anything like that, I don't think that would be a solution. The solution would be, how do we do this thing in a way that it is beneficial to our mental health, it is beneficial to our livelihoods and our relationships? How can we do this thing that we earn our livelihood and we still be human beings in the world? Yeah.
What do you think, Dr. Jane?
Yeah, I like her views because the world has really changed and the dynamics are to remain because you cannot ban social media. It is part of human life now. All we need to do is to adopt in a positive way. If you are educated, educate also the house girl whom you are leaving your children with, because you find that some of them will give the child their phone for hours and they are busy cooking and working because the child will be busy now, like they will not disturb them. And you know, a minute in a TikTok can destroy the brain of this child forever because of the content that it's there, and yet many mothers don't understand, many parents. Psychoeducation is very important because you realize if the social media, the TikTok stories are the ones that you induce sleep to someone, then you have a problem. So we need to educate people so that they know that you can have self-discipline, you can have some values, delay the gratification. You don't have to keep picking your phone. You can schedule time to return calls or messages. You don't have to be really thinking, I left my phone at home and you are panting, you have anxiety. So people need to style up and know that it is about them, the personal decisions they make that will determine their use of social media, because social media is here to stay. For the government policies, maybe we can talk about parental control, investing more money in parental control policy, whereby there are certain gadgets for children, tailor-made for children, where they are not able to go to some sites. And even we have some in the television whereby the family decides, let's have parental control. So even if the mother is at work, they are comfortable. They know the child will not watch horror movies, they will not watch pornography because the gadgets are on parental control. But there are so many players in this social media. Yes. They have friends in school, so they'll be told, oh, you didn't watch this program, they'll be told everything. So we need to come up as a society and deal with the monster intentionally, that it is affecting families and we are the people who will suffer when we see a generation perishing because they are not creative, they can't plan their time, they can't work, they can't concentrate. So we are all going to be partakers of the negative effect of the social media.
Okay. As we wrap up, Dr. Sarah, I don't know if you have closing remarks.
I support my colleagues that as far as social media is concerned, we have positive aspects of the social media, and so banning TikTok would not be a solution. I think to everyone, let's have a balanced life, be able to have self-discipline and take what is positive, leave what is negative. And you can also use social media to empower yourself. So use it for empowering yourself, use it to uplift your status, use it to get exposure, because again, exposure raises esteem of individuals. So just use it positively. There is what we cannot access physically. And so it is good that we get to know social media should work positively for us, but discard what can ruin your life.
Thank you so much for making time to come to the show. We have truly learned a lot.